Lisa from Life in Layouts. Thanks for joining me for another process video. Today I am using this sketch from Scrapbook Generations, and I am also using from Carta Boy Oh Boy, because I thought that that was perfect for what happened when we took my little one to the dentist. So I'm going to start out with this arrow paper, and I span it across both sides of the 2-page layout like it is in the sketch. And then I'm going to use this star paper as the border strip on each side, and then a stripe paper as well as a number paper. And I use the number paper because when we went to the dentist, this was actually his first visit to the dentist. And as you can see here, he was such a brave little boy. He got x-rays done, and then the dental hygienist came in and showed him how all the equipment works. So she did all of the things on his hands, and so he got to see what it really felt like before she put it in his mouth. And the boy oh boy part comes because my little one has 9 cavities. I feel like it's one of those things of a failure as a mom when you have a little one with 9 cavities. But he did such an amazing job with this cleaning. So I wanted to bring out my sewing machine, and I don't use my sewing machine a lot for one reason and one reason only, because this little machine was very inexpensive. I think I paid like $50 for it. And I have a love-hate relationship with this little machine. I love the look of the stitching on the layout, and I actually did quite a bit of stitching. There's stitching on the arrow paper on both sides of the layout, as well as the number paper has stitching on both sides. And then I end up doing a stitching of a circle, which I'll show you that in just a second. So I love the way the stitching looks, but this little machine it's very inexpensive, and you always get what you pay for in regards to the items that you purchase. I know that I get what I paid for on this machine. So what I'm doing now is adding all of the photos down. I'm using my T-square ruler, and the sketch calls for 2 4x6 photos and then 2 smaller photos. I think they're 3x3 photos, but that didn't work for the photos that I had. So I just end up putting 3 4x6 photos, and I do trim them down just a little bit so that they fit and there's still a little bit of space in between each of the photos. So then this is where I'm going to stitch. So I pull out my circle cutters from Creative Memories and use that as a guide to draw a circle in pencil so that I can sew around the circle. And I do 3 circles, and I make it look very messy, and that's what I was going for when I was sewing, because in the sketch it's also messy. And I'm not sure if it calls for stitching or if it just calls for like a drawing of the circle, but I really like the way the stitching added extra texture. And then on the right hand side of the sketch, it calls for 3 smaller photos, I think probably 2x2s, and that also did not work for my layout. So I just used my 4x6 photos. I did cut one down a little bit so that you could see the circle a little better, but it fits right in there in the layout with no problem, and I like the way that it turned out. I did add a little bit more stitching to that smile card that I used from the cut apart sheet, and I always pull my threads through the back and then use washi tape to secure them. So I'm going to ink up the edges and then add foam adhesive to the back of this and then pop it up above my photos. And that's going in place of where that heart element is in the sketch. And I added 2 stars to it, thinking maybe it looked like a stretch between the two, but then I didn't like the way that it looked, and I ended up adding a 3rd star, and I like that little clustering at the end of the stitching. And I had pulled them up so many different times that I had to use my fine line bottle to put them in there. So next I'm just going through and the different cut aparts and the sticker sheet and trying to find different pieces, and I pull out that boy oh boy because that really was what my thought process was. The dentist that they go to did not have an appointment to get the fillings done very quickly, so he had to actually have something put on his teeth to make the cavities prevent from getting bigger, and that sustained us until we were able to get into the dentist. So then I went through my embellishment book and I found a bunch of different stars and this diamond piece, as well as some sticker sheets that say smile, oh snap, and so it begins. And I'm adding those to the circle of that I use for the stitching. So that one that I just put down says smile. And then I end up using this little circle that has the date and location on it, and I add that next to the word smile. And later on I will use a roller date stamp to add the date, and then write in Main Street Dental, which is the dentist that they went to. And then I found this frame that I really liked. I like that navy because it brought in the navy from the arrows, and so I added that to the back of the boy oh boy, and it added just a little bit of different texture and element to that piece as well. And so this is where the sticker that says aw snap, because that's definitely how I felt after that. And then the sticker that says smile, I had to add additional adhesive to that. And then this last sticker here says and so it begins, because it's his first dental visit, and that's what we will be doing for the next 6 months for the rest of his life, is visiting the dentist. So I liked the way those word stickers fit in there and the way that turned out, because I really like that. So this book that I'm looking through now, I'm pulling out a couple other elements, and I like to go through the book, and I don't do that a lot on camera, but I go through the book and then I have a piece of wax paper or other. I think I'm actually using a backing of a sticker today to add the bunch of different pieces to it, so that you don't have to watch me go through all of that book, because it would take a while to pull out. So I just pull out what I think might work, and then use that on the sheet, and then use it on the layout. So now I'm using this stripe paper that's also from the Boy Oh Boy line, and I'm going to add this cream color on top of it to add my journaling right there underneath that photo with him and the spit sucker thing. I don't know what that's actually called when they go to the dentist, where they tell you to close your mouth and they suck up spit. The spit sucker, I guess. So the journaling is going to go right underneath that, and I'm going to use my fun foam to adhere that. And I am getting low on my fun foam. I actually have to order some more. So I've been trying to use up some of my scraps that are in my little bucket there that I keep. And so that's what you saw me there do. Now I'm adding the date, and then I'm going to write in Main Street Dentist, because that's his dental, the dentist he goes to. And then that's it for this layout. Thanks everyone for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I'll have you guys some close-ups here. And if you want to see more double page layouts, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because that's all I do on this channel. I hope everyone has a scrappy day.